7. Be sure to stay with us. The CBS Evening News is next. The news doesn't end here. Download WLTX Plus for free on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
We're on your side. You're watching News 19 at 6 on WLTX Plus.
That's right, everyone. Good evening. Thank you all so much for joining us here on WLTX Plus. I'm Christy Calcagno on this election night. Let's go ahead and send things over to Chief Meteorologist Efren DeFonte to start things off. Beautiful day to get out there and enjoy the polls.
Oh, the weather was absolutely beautiful, but the big thing, Christy, is that it was noticeably colder when everybody headed out to the polls this morning. We just started off officially a low of 37 degrees in Columbia, but we did manage to reach a high of 70. Had a lot of sunshine. It was an absolutely beautiful day. Well, temperatures have been dropping rapidly since sunset. We're currently at 57 degrees under clear skies in the capital city. The winds are calm. We do expect, though, that as we go through the next few hours, especially anybody who's out in the polls, it is going to get noticeably colder. 49 degrees by 9 o'clock. By midnight, we'll be at 43. The skies will stay clear. And the forecast will start off the morning 39 degrees under clear skies. Lots of sunshine tomorrow. But the big difference is by noon, we'll be at 69. And we'll end up with a high of 74 degrees. So beautiful weather tomorrow. Still a little bit cool. We get to Sunday morning, a low of 45. But that sunshine will reach a high of 70. And by Friday, looking at a high of 73 degrees. Christy, we'll take a look at the rest of the forecast. We got that coming up in just a few minutes.
All righty, Efren, thank you so much. Right now, we are continuing with our team coverage for election night. We got our 3 reporters out there working incredibly hard tonight. We got Kiki Gushu, Jamin Wade, and Megan Dauchkis. They are across the Midlands sharing the latest updates, including polling locations and from the election offices. Let's go ahead and start with Megan Dauchkis. She is joining us live outside the Lurie Center on Park Circle. Megan, it looks like things are picking up out there.
Yeah, Christy, they're definitely starting to pick up. We actually just had a few people walk in. It's been a little bit quieter now. I would say the past 15, 20 minutes have started to slow down, but we still have some people coming in. There's still time left. And I kind of spoke before just with the clerk, DeAndre Stallworth, to see what they do are starting to do to wrap up the polls and what we're going to see once the polls close. So let's hear from him.
I think it's really important as a citizen of Lexington County, but also as the town of Lexington, that my voice as a homeowner, as well as a young person, is heard, especially as our taxes are impacted, our roads. I drive these roads every day. And then right now I don't have children, but I have friends who have kids, I have family who has kids, and that's very important.
Now, I don't think that was DeAndre, but basically what he told me was that they're going to start wrapping things up around 15 to 30 minutes after the polls close, 7:15, 7:30. They're actually going to post on the door of the Lurie Center what the total count is for the election. So if you're wondering what this specific ward, 1 in 10, what those results were, you can check the door nearby. We'll also have those results later. And so far, I mean, there's been a great turnout. They said 18% of a turnout for those 2 wards. That's 535 people so far, and more still coming in. So here at the Lurie Center, I'm Megan Dauchkis, News 19 WLTX.
All righty, Megan, thank you so much. We always appreciate you. Pretty good turnout out there. Now moving ahead over to Lexington County, where our Kiki Gushu is there with the latest on voter turnout over in there, Lexington. Kiki, what can you tell us?
Christy, we are still seeing a steady stream of people. We're at around 450 the last time I checked, which was about 30 minutes ago. Now, besides the town of Lexington Town Council election, we also have 2 mayoral elections here in Lexington County. We have the town of Chapin and Batesburg-Leesville. Now, I talked with the 4 candidates from Batesburg-Leesville last week. Some of those hot topic items are definitely transparency and growth and development. Now, over in Chapin, there are 2 gentlemen running after the incumbent Al Kuhn tragically passed away. Now, in Batesburg-Leesville, the candidates are going to be Greg Mosley, Larry McConaughey, David Bucknight, and Steve Kane. In Chapin, we're looking at Ron Colley and Bill Mitchell Jr. that are vying to be mayor. Now, in Batesburg-Leesville, I have been told we could see a runoff because there are 4 candidates for mayor, and the candidate that is vying to win mayor needs to win by 50%. So there's 4 people that might not work out evenly, so we could see a runoff there. I'll be here later on to give you more details. Christy?
Appreciate all of your hard work out there tonight. Turning our attention on now over to Orangeburg County, where our reporter Jamin Wade standing by with the latest on. Apparently, Jamin, you were telling me there were some technical glitches that voters might be encountering in that area. So, Jamin, kind of get us up to speed. What did you hear a couple of hours ago, and how is it out there?
Yes, I did speak to Aurora Smalls earlier, who did tell me that there were some technical glitches in some of the polling sites in Orangeburg County. I don't know exactly which polling site it was, but she did tell me that she was able to fix some of those problems, that they always have a backup plan, and so those problems were fixed quickly. But I'm currently in Ellery, where the turnout has actually been pretty steady all afternoon. I do know that there are 3 candidates for the mayor here. Barbara J. Butler, Alan Reeves, and James Kelly Umer. Reeves has told me that his focus is on growing the local economy, while Umer says his focus is serving as he served on town council, says that he wants to continue improving infrastructure, public safety, and Butler did not respond to a request for comment or interview. There is also a District 1 seat on council. On the ballot, those candidates are Tanya Weaver and Kim Tasha Gidron. And District 4 council seat is also open with Donnie Smith running unopposed. So far at this location, this is the only location in Ellery. There were 185 voters that cast their ballots here, and that is about a 39% turnout. Now, since I got those numbers about 20 minutes ago, I have seen a couple other people come in, so those numbers may have risen just a little bit. But we also know polls are closing soon in the next 30 minutes. And after that, I'll be heading to Orangeburg registration office where they will be starting to count those votes. Early voting numbers will start coming in around 7:05, while all the other towns here in Orangeburg County will start coming in closer to 7:45. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you, Chrissy.
All righty, Jamin, thank you so much. We appreciate all of our reporters out there. And we are back here, Mr. Jones. Come on, guys. I told you he's going to be back. He is back now. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah. So we have actually seen a lot of people, like we talked about, they are coming back in there to the polls, kind of towards as everybody is ending work so far. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about these elections. Wrap up really quickly. Why is it so important for people that they came out to have their voice heard?
I think it's most important that people understand the votes that took place today and during early voting will impact them at their kitchen table.
Yes.
When you open your door, you will see that difference in terms of what is being done with the newly elected officials.
So let's talk about the decisions that were made at the local level. Like, how do they kind of affect us all before Washington does?
So you look at things like local taxes that could be levied against us. You look at growth and development. You look at the Scout plant, for example, that is, I mean, it looks like an airport out there, but you look at projects like that. You look at policing and public safety. These are issues that impact you immediately. Sidewalks, bus stops, expansion or contraction of our transit system. These things impact us daily.
And that's really what we're kind of seeing right now, is that is what is driving a lot of people to the polls too. So as the votes kind of come in, how should we interpret those numbers?
You know, they haven't come in as yet.
Right.
It's going to take a little while, but just depending on where the bulk of the votes came from, it'll take a little bit of analysis on the back end to take a look. But when I looked at some of the early voting, some of the inner city neighborhoods did vote at a high level. So I'm interested to see what happens there. I know there has been a lot of talk about what's going on in District 1. So that those neighborhoods are directly impacted by that, those things.
And so for us, is there any kind of misconceptions that you think that maybe people might have when it comes to like those early returns and early voting, stuff like that?
Not really. I mean, you could kind of take some data from them, but you really won't know until Election Day what happens. You know, we've got a lot of folks in the Midlands that work, you know, just daily. So they're not off of work until 3 or 4, so they can't get to the polls until a little bit later.
And one thing that we do want to mention, that polls are obviously still open. It is currently 6:40 on the dot.
20 minutes.
So they still have 20 minutes. But again, as we've been mentioning, if you go right now and get to your polls, you can still vote. But I do want to ask you, for people, why is it so important to make sure to be patient, right?
It's your vote.
Yeah.
Your vote matters. And just be patient. You know, we live in a instant gratification type of society.
Yes, very true.
But just be patient with your vote and watch as they come in, watch the results, but more importantly, hold your elected officials accountable.
Yeah, as we wrap up this chat for tonight, let's talk about, I love what you were mentioning throughout our tall talk, is this does not end with tonight. No matter who becomes in office, it is now our duty to go and talk to them, right?
That's the beginning. It's the beginning of a 4-year term. So you've got 4 years to work with these individuals to make a difference in your immediate life. I challenge all of our viewers and listeners to get active. You should have exercised your right to vote, but what are you going to do tomorrow and moving forward to hold your elected officials accountable?
That's right, exactly. What are you going to do tomorrow? And you could have impacted it there today. Yes. Any final thoughts as we kind of wrap up with 20 minutes left here for voting? Again, the election results are not in just yet. Of course, the polls are still open. So, but kind of your final thoughts in this takeaway for the past, 24 hours.
Big for me, if you are in line, stay in line.
Yes.
But most importantly, be patient. And again, I just have to reiterate the fact that these elected officials work for you. Yes. As their constituent. So I want everybody under the sound of our voices to really get engaged. We've got a lot going on in D.C. That may, it's beginning to impact us now, but stay vigilant. Just stay engaged and make sure that your vote counts and matters, and that you hold your elected officials accountable for what they said they were going to do for the past couple months.
That's also very true. Make sure they are holding up their end of the bargain on in there. We appreciate you so much for coming in the past pretty much 24 hours, coming in and giving us your insight there. You have been such a treat, and we really do appreciate you. And again, I love what he's been mentioning this entire time. What is going to impact you at the kitchen table?
Exactly.
That's how you do it. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having
me. The past couple of times. We appreciate you. As always, we are going to put this interview on our website, WLTX.com. But stay with us. More of News 19 and on WLTX Plus. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to WLTX Plus. Right now, we want to bring you a live look. This is over in New York City. This is voters are turning out in record numbers there. More than 730,000 people have already cast their ballots in what's to become one of the most closely watched mayoral races in our country. And at polling sites across Queens, voters filled in steadily throughout the day, many saying that they're ready for change in City Hall. The three frontrunners spending the day making their final pitches.
It is time to finally respond with the urgency that New Yorkers deserve.
The record turnout is a good sign. I think it's going to be a record, and it's because New Yorkers are concerned. New Yorkers are concerned about New York.
Now, Republican candidate Curtis Silva also spent the day encouraging voters across the city, telling his supporters that he's confident in a strong finish. All righty, now back here at home tonight, the Richland County Sheriff's Department is investigating a stabbing which happened at Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center. Deputies say it all happened at around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon between two inmates. One man was stabbed in the upper body with a sharp object, treated for his injuries on site, and then later returned to his unit. The sheriff's office says the investigation is ongoing. Also, the sheriff's department investigating after a man disrupted a service at Turning Point Church back on October 12th. Deputies say the man shouted and approached the pastor before being escorted out of the building. No arrests have been made, but again, as we mentioned, this investigation is ongoing. In response, deputies are now stepping up routine check-ins at local churches and providing security guidance to congregations that request it. And a big top story tonight is the South Carolina National Guard will be mobilizing to help families affected by the federal SNAP benefit shutdown. So starting on November 5th, that is tomorrow, Guard members will be leading emergency food distribution at Harvest Hope Food Bank at locations in Columbia and Greenville. Operations will run again starting tomorrow to the 7th, and then again November 10th to the 14th will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single one of those days. The Columbia distribution site is located at 2220 Shop Road. Officials say more locations could be added if the need does continue to grow. All right, everyone, feeling that fall chill? Efren is tracking how long these cooler temperatures are going to stick around and what's ahead for the rest of the week. That's next. Beautiful night out there, Efren. A lot of people are heading to the polls, and they had a little chilly night out there.
Yeah, the one thing they didn't need is an umbrella because everyone's like, okay, I don't want to get soaked. We've had many elections where it's raining either as they head out or just after they got out or when they're leaving. We do have a chance for rain. It's a very small chance at this point, and it's for Sunday. It's more like in the afternoon. That's the only chance we have. So 6 out of the 7-day forecast, at least we will be dry. Now, it is a beautiful night all throughout the Midlands. Skies are clear. It was sunny today, and the clear skies continue. The high temperatures today, and this is important to note because we had this happen yesterday, had a lot of high temperatures, upper 60s to low 70s. This was around 5, maybe 5:10. Sunset is at 5:30, and just like last night, once the sun set, about 30 minutes later, the temperature just tanked. Because look where we sit now. 51 in Newberry, as well as in Camden. It's 56 in Sumter, 58 in St. Matthews. Over in Lexington at Columbia Metropolitan Airport, we're at 61 degrees. So it's noticeably chillier than we've had. Still, these temperatures are below the average for early November. This is going to be changing, especially for the afternoons when we're going to be a lot warmer. The air is still relatively dry. Dew points, give or take, about 35 to 40 degrees. That compared to the temperatures of 50s and 60s, widespread numbers, that means more dry air the further the numbers are apart. And we have literally the clear skies thanks to high pressure that has now moved out of the central Gulf South, parked right over the Appalachians. So to the west, there's a lot of warmer air coming out of the Gulf. We're not going to get that until tomorrow, but at least the skies will stay clear. So as we go through the rest of the night, clear skies. Overnight into tomorrow morning, we'll start off just like that. Then we'll have a lot of sunshine throughout the day. And that sunshine, it's going to warm us up like we had today. The only difference is southwesterly winds are going to really warm us up. So the forecast will start with low temperatures, upper 30s with a few low 40s. So still well below the average. But by tomorrow afternoon, that sunshine and southwesterly winds at 10 miles an hour, we're looking at high temperatures in the mid, maybe even a few upper 70s. So the southwest winds help. The only downside is that it is going to be a little bit windy. By midday, we're looking at wind gusts maybe pushing about 15 to 20 miles an hour. But it's not going to be that windy. It is going to bring, though, a lot of that warm air. So as we get into Thursday morning, it'll be cold, but right where we should be with lows in the mid 40s. But here's something to really pay attention to, because Thursday, a high of 70 degrees, lots of sunshine, 73 on Friday, 76 on Saturday. Again, that chance for rain maybe for a few Sunday afternoon, reach a high of 75. But a really strong cold front comes through, and as it does, look how these temperatures really tank. 43 degrees on Monday morning, despite the mostly sunny skies, only a high of 54. And by Tuesday, Veterans Day will start at 31 degrees, only managed to reach a high of 52. Christy?
All righty, Everett, thank you so much. Well, make sure you stick around for the best part of the show. It's coming up right after the break. Well, before we go, we're ending the show on a positive note with something we like to call the best part. That's where we asked you guys around the Midlands. Oh, see, I have to talk about it. Look at that. The best part right there. I feel like a meteorologist. It's just a simple reminder that there's always something good happening around us. Take a look.
It really is whenever the guests come in and they recognize you from past events and they know your name, and then I always try to ask their name and respond with their name and recognize them as a person with a name, not just a hungry mouth, but a person. And I think that really means a lot, both to them and to myself.
Oh, I love that. So that was there from the United Methodist Church over on Washington Street, again, where they're helping those in need. I love to see that, how they're able to kind of recognize each other.
Yeah, everyone knows that when you're greeted by somebody and they say your name, like,
I know,
you actually remember me. It's a really good feeling.
Oh, I love that.
Like, oh, and now for you.
Oh, honestly, we got through it today. So shout out to our amazing producers today. I think our producers did amazing. I mean, shout out to Dorianne. She has been so fantastic for all the entire day. And it was for a election show.
Hear our producers just like,
I did. She got a little excited. I mean, we have to give a shout out to her favorite part today. Best part.
Okay. Hallmark moment. I was talking to my son. He's been really busy with getting basketball practices ready for the season.
Yeah.
And then he said 3 simple words. I miss you. Okay, parents, go ahead. Grab the Kleenex.
Stop.
Best part of my day by far.
Oh my gosh, you better give him like the biggest hug.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Of course, we always want to hear your best part of the day. All you got to do is send us a video on any of our social media pages. Just search WLTX. You might just see it right here as we celebrate it. Thank you all so much for joining us here on WLTX Plus. News 19 at 7 starts in just a couple of minutes.